Hey, Dominic Lisiewski. Nice to see you again. Welcome back to my channel, the place where we talk about customer experience and specifically how to enhance Zendesk. Quick intro about me. I've been a Zendesk consultant for the past 8 years, almost. Zendesk partner for the past 2 years, and I've recently completed a subcontracting agreement with Zendesk, where I help with the recent surge in projects, and I'm here to share some of that knowledge. I am becoming a little bit self-conscious about the quality of of my camera, so I've ordered a new one. Hopefully that will improve the image. However, I hope that you get much more benefit from these lessons that I share, rather than from, for example, the bad quality of the image, which will only improve in the future. So if you're new, please subscribe to my channel. The following is very, very poor. And yeah, if you like to see some special content, I'd love to hear and to help out and create videos for it. Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about a knowledge base and how to add, specifically how to add articles in your knowledge base. So I've talked about this in a previous video, but I'm going to talk about it again. It is very important for you as a business to have a well-documented product. And not just product, but processes, right? So processes that you use inside your company that are either internal or external, right? So maybe you want to onboard your customers or you want to onboard a new hiree, right? You want to have a documentation on how to onboard someone, right? Coming in new to the company to read about how to maybe deal with some types of requests, and they can just go through the knowledge base. Or you can have like a public knowledge base which you share with your customers that they could use to self-serve, right? So they go in and they read about, they find on Google something that they want the problem that they have with your product. They Google it, they find it, and then they read about it, and then they don't send in a request, which obviously needs to be handled by an agent. So you save time, you save agent time, and you also save company money, right? Because if you have a well-documented knowledge base, users can self-serve and they don't need an agent to help them with their request, which if they don't need that agent, then you save money because you don't hire that agent, right? So anyway, I cannot stress enough how empowering it is to have a well-documented knowledge base. Companies don't do this, and they don't see the benefits of investing to maybe 2 hours per day for one of the team members or one of the agents of your agents to 2 hours per day to create articles for your knowledge base. So imagine there's like 1 article per hour, and you'd have 2 articles per day, 10 articles per week, 40 per month, with processes, describing processes or describing how to use your product, which can only help you in the long run, right? It can only be to your benefit, because once you have a well-documented knowledge base, you can apply an AI on top of it, right? So an artificial intelligence that goes in and based on keywords that your users use, the AI goes into the knowledge base, looks up articles which are relevant, serves them to the client. Client reads them, and some of them get solved. Some of their answers, sorry, some of their questions get solved by them reading the knowledge base. And it's also like, I don't know why exactly we've distanced ourselves from other human beings so much with technology recently, but about 72% of people prefer actually to self-serve than they do to interact with a human. That's another discussion, which I don't want to get into, but we're here to improve customer experience. So let me go ahead and share my screen on how to add a category, a section, and an article. So let's see, share screen, share. All right, hopefully you can see my screen. So let's navigate to our guide first, right? So our help center or web portal, as it was called back in the day. Right. So for growth and professional accounts, Zendesk accounts, you have a tree-like structure in your guide, right? Which follows the following structure: categories, sections, and articles. Categories, if you will, are folders, sections are subfolders, and articles are files, right? So with enterprise, you are able to add up to 7 subsections. So you have categories in subsection 1, 2, 3, up to 5, up to 7, and then you have your articles, right? Though that's for the more complex knowledge bases. But right now, for today, we're just going to add a category, section, and article in this order. And we're also add a translation for it in German. So very important to know is that if an article that you publish in your knowledge base does not have a category or a section, it will not show up. Neither will the category. So let's go ahead. First things first, I'm logged in as an administrator. I have these 2 sections. Let's go into my guide admin. I'm going to go to arrange content directly. I'm not going to walk you through the interface, the guide interface as of now, because that's a different lesson. That's a different lesson. Okay, so I have one general category in which I have 2 sections. I want to add a category for myself. And I'm going to add a category. I'm going to imagine that we are a retailer and we sell electronics, computer electronics. Specifically, we sell laptops, right? We sell laptops, we sell digital cameras, we sell accessories, etc. So we're just going to focus on laptops, right? Laptops, and we sell MacBooks, we sell Dell, we sell Lenovo, etc. So let's add a category that's called laptops. I can also edit this with a template. We're not going to go into the details. I will have another lesson where I talk about how you can use templates to create special kinds of categories, which you can in which you can inject special code, JavaScript, to make it look like fancy and do a whole bunch of stuff. My source language, I want it to be English for this particular case. I can add a description, but I'm not going to, because I'm a rebel like that. Add. All right, cool. So I've added my category. I'm going to go to my help center. And I am on German right now, so I'm going to switch to English. All right, so I can see now 2 categories, laptops and general. So if I go back to my guide admin and arrange content, I can see my 2 categories, laptops and general. It was here prior, so I'm going to ignore it. This one has 0 sections. I'm going to go ahead and add a section for MacBooks. Definitely add a description. Not going to. Source language, again, is going to be English. We're going to focus on German later. I'm going to order this manually, not by creation date latest or last, or by alphabetical order. No. Subsections, again, manual order, and then the hierarchy. Very important. So this is going to be inside laptops, right? I select it and I click this. And then again, this is a template which you can inject special code. Not going to focus on that right now. Good, perfect. So now if I go back to my help center, I see my laptops. I see my section, MacBooks, go into it, it's empty. Okay, let's go ahead and add a article. All right, nice. So American English, French, or German? I am going to add first the version for American English. How to get started with my laptop. All right, I'm going to go ahead and copy some general text, random text, just for the purpose of this demonstration. Here we go. I can go in, I can format it any way I want with bold, I can add, yeah, different formatting with numbering, bullets. I can add images. I can add videos even, and they are going to be embedded in here if they're YouTube. So yeah, it's very, very cool. Let's add let's add a, okay, this is a very cool one. I like it. This is the background of that I'm using for Zoom right now. All right, so let's see. Insert it. Here we go. Amazing. It's not relevant for my laptop example, but I'm going to rely on your imagination that you can put in here whatever you want, step by step, how to start with my laptop. All right, I'm going to switch over to the little right-hand side, which is more interesting. So I can go ahead and save this as a draft, or I can publish it directly, or I can schedule it in the future. If I'm, for example, running a campaign that I want to synchronize with the rest of my publications, I could schedule it. But for now, we're going to publish it, but I'm not going to right now. So who is this going to be managed by? Editors and publishers, or I think I want to do it only admins to have access to manage it. Who is this going to be visible to? Either everyone, so even anonymous users, signed in users, or agents and admins, right? So we mentioned that this can be private content, right? Which helps your agents document whatever they need to for your product, or signed in users. So users that use their email and password to sign into your guide. And on top of this, you can add a layer of user segmentation, which we're going to look into in a different lesson. But it's worth knowing that you can create, for example, user segmentation based on some criteria. If a group of users is a part of, for example, an organization, or they have a certain tag, or they're VIP, or you just have like 5 people, let's say, that you offer support, that you want only these partners, let's say, to have access to certain kind of content, you do that. So where do I want to publish this? Very important. I want to publish this in laptops category, MacBook section, select. Is this open for comments, or is this a promoted article? Well, open for comments means that users, if they're logged in, they can comment and say, yeah, great article, or I had a problem, couldn't do it. I'm not going to leave it open for now. Or you can promote it. Promote it means that it's going to be showing up in your homepage of the guide at the top, right beneath the categories. And the purpose of promoted is for you, for example, to bring forth special kind of content that you want your users to see when they land on the guide, because it's, let's say, more important. And I'm going to promote it for now, just to see what that looks like. Okay. And then who the author is going to be, it's me, or it's maybe going to be some other agent. Who's the owner? Again, it's going to be me this time. Labels. This is, in a sense, if you will, tags that I can add. So what these do is, and their purpose is to bump these up, and if an agent, sorry, not if an agent, if a user searches in the search bar of the guide, if they search for laptops and MacBooks in their keywords, this automatically would get bumped up that hierarchy list inside the search results. If articles don't have these labels, then they will be ranked lower. So this is a way for you to think about how you can structure your content and maybe make more, say, more informed content, like informed content creation based on, for example, what you think users are going to be looking for in your knowledge base. This applies when you have like a very stiff and large knowledge base, not when you're just starting out, but it's worth taking into account. Templates, again, are I'm going to show you in a different lesson how you can use templates to create special kind of content with a step-by-step guide, like step 1, step 2, which is going to be maybe like, if you will, an article within an article, where you can have anchoring. It's very complex, and I'm not going to get into it right now. And you can add attachments, which have to be up to 20 megabytes, not larger than that. All right, so let's publish this bad boy. All right, and let's go to Help Center. Here we go, 2 categories, right? Laptops, general, and I have my promoted article, which, as we mentioned earlier, it's going to be showing up in here, promoted article, and I can have articles, and I can have up to 6, right? Which can show up in here, and I can see them jump in front of my eyes when I first log in. Now, if I go to my category and I go to my section, I can already see my articles within the section, but if I click it, then I can see the articles within my category, within my section. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open this in incognito because I want to be an anonymous user and I want to see what that looks like as well. It looks exactly like it does for me as an administrator, log in, right? I can see promoted articles, I can see the categories because I have added one article within a section within a category. If you don't have these, be aware that they will not show up. So I'm going to show you what that looks like in a moment right now. I'm going to change my language to Deutsch and I have nothing in here. Why is that? It's because I have no translation whatsoever for the 2 categories that I have in my guide. I'm going to add right now a translation for my article in German, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. So let's. All right, so we're here, we're back. Let's go to another way of doing it. Go directly to the article and hit edit. All right, so I have my content in English. Add it in German. How do you start? Wie startet man mit seinem Laptop? Wie startet sein neues MacBook? Ich entschuldige mich bei meinen deutschen Viewern. So my German is not perfect, but let's just take some random text, translate it, copy it, go back, edit, amazing, publish. Now, if we were to go back to our knowledge base, right? So we are again in German. We can't see it. Why we can't see it? It's because we have added the translation for the article, but what did we say? We said that an article will only show up if it's a part of a section and part of a category. Otherwise, it will not show up. The reason why it's not showing up is because it's translated, but it's part of a section that doesn't have a translation, and it's part of a category that does not have a translation either. So what we have to do is we have to translate it. So to do that, we go back, go to article settings, and what happens is, like, if we pay really close attention to what Zendesk tells us, we'll see that it tells us, like, it's missing translations, so you have to add these. All right, so for category, it tells me like it's lacking a translation. So I have my German language selected. Let's put laptops, update translation. Thank you, closed. Now, for my section, again, I need to do the same for MacBooks. MacBooks, add a translation, done. The reason why I'm going like this is because I've done this video before and I'm doing it again because I didn't do it right. So I'm doing it again and I'm having this more like a direct, I don't know, more direct. All right, so let's go back. Let's change our language. So right now we're an administrator, change the language to Deutsch. And we only see the section within that category. It's because we only see, because we have only one category, it shows us directly the sections in that category, right? So here is our article. Now, if we were to open an incognito window again, actually, I'm going to go ahead and open the English version first and change it to Deutsch. Here we go. Bam. This is my section. This is my promoted article. And yeah, that's it. Now it shows up and it's great. What I can do is I can go in here, and what I want to do is I want to edit the article, and I want to remove that promoted article feature because I want this to be like a regular article. I don't want it to be. Here we go. Now it's just like a regular, you see it disappears. So a new activity where I see like what I recently navigated through, which is in my view, not the most useful functionality. The promoted articles are much more useful functionality because you can promote it or unpromote it, and it's a little bit more useful than seeing what I've already navigated, right? So if I go back to, for example, English, I can see my content in English, laptops, books. How do I get started? All right, so this is my article. Change the language to Deutsch. And I also have the Deutsch translation, right? So I have this article, this is the URL, right? And I have an ID for it. And I can also, if I go here, for example, I can see that I have the same ID, just that this language locale identifier has changed. And yeah, that's it. And let's see. All right, so this is, let's say, not necessarily like the fastest. It took like 20 something minutes, I know that, but it's useful to go through these lessons because I've had so many people ask me like, why doesn't my category show up? Why doesn't my article show up? It's because, yeah, you need to go through these lessons and run, let's say, hit your head, and then once you learn them, then you can't make the same, have the same problem again. So this is the reason why I'm actually making these videos, to make it easier. Yeah, and I hope this was useful. I'll see you next time. Bye.